It is the 1st of December, so it is time for my November garden tour. I'm a little bit late again, but let's turn the camera around and I'll show you what's growing in the garden. This is Dave with Organic Gardening in North Carolina. Welcome, gardening friends. I'm glad you could join us. Oh, and if you stay till the end, I'll go ahead and put a link to all my gardening videos for this year up in the corner there. All right, let's turn the camera around and see what's growing. Okay, here's a view from the bottom of my garden where I usually start. Got a row of onions here. See the row of onions? They're like spring onions. I can start using them at any time. I also have some garlic that I planted sort of late here. It's starting to come up. There's some comfrey. There's a fig tree that I pruned down rather heavily because it didn't get that many figs on it this year. So I pruned it down quite a bit. This is where the peppers were. I pulled them out and threw them down and put some straw bedding from the rabbit cage on top of them. I planted a bunch of arugula down here, which I planted that a little bit late, so it didn't get much of a start before the cold weather. So we'll see how that does. But I planted it all down through here along this side too. Here's some sugar peas or snow peas, I forget which I don't know that they'll produce any because I probably started them a little bit too late too. Look at this goji berry. We've had some weather in 20 degrees at night and the goji berry doesn't seem to mind it. It even still has some berries on it, although they look like they're sort of rotting. Oh, I forgot I did have some daikon radishes here that they don't look like they're enjoying the cold very much either. I put some net over them so that the animals wouldn't dig them up. There's some more daikon radishes. This is a bigger daikon radish. Either that or it's a turnip, but I'm pretty sure it's a daikon radish. Some more radishes over here. I've mulched on top of my ginger. I need to pull that out and see if there's any ginger under there before it rots. Alrighty, my goji bush is going all over the place. It's really starting to grow more. This is my turmeric. I have mulch on top of that, so hopefully it's not rotting either. Here's my JH Adriatic fig tree, which did the best this year of anything. I got some good figs off of it. That one is a little bit past its prime, I'm afraid. Quite rotten. All right. I took some JH Adriatic fig cuttings and I put them in the ground here, and they were just starting to sprout. So I put a bucket upside down over them and put some wood chips in there. Close the bucket back up, and I am going to put some duct tape around there to keep the moisture out, because those wood chips look like they're nice and dry. But hopefully that'll let those cuttings that have just started survive the winter. I have some cilantro growing down in here. This is just from an old plant up here that I let go to seed, and I threw the seeds off of it and threw those seeds down on the ground. So I have picked some leaves off of here to eat a little bit already. It's very good. There's some more onions. These are ones that I planted a little earlier from the bulbs. These plants I think are cauliflower and maybe broccoli too. There's like 4 or 5 plants there. Go to the other side here to show you. This is the bed that I planted with garlic a month or so ago. You can see the garlic is coming up. All over the place. If I figure out how, I'll go ahead and put a link to that video where I planted that up in the top here. Alright, there's not a whole lot live down here. These are some walking onions, which I've been using. I put a bunch of leaves over my raspberry patch. That should help them be mulched next year. Some more comfrey. See, looks like I planted some onions up through here too. Unless that's garlic. That might be where I planted the garlic actually. There's my strawberries. I'm planning to put some mulch over them when I have a chance. This is the loofah sponge that I didn't plant. It was a volunteer vine that put out quite a bit of the loofah sponges. It was a big vine. See, there's the vine right here. And it went the whole way up this trellis, over that way, and then over the trellis that way as well. All right, here is the fall garden that I did a video of, where I made this bed and planted the fall garden. So I've got arugula down here, lettuce, some radishes, some carrots that didn't sprout super well. Then I've got a big row of arugula. I've been eating that, munching it, and also feeding it to the rabbits. The rabbits seem to enjoy it. And then I do have some broccoli over here. You can see that broccoli is starting to get some heads. Yeah, it's starting to get some heads in there. So maybe we'll have some broccoli soon. I did have some beets planted in here, but I got them started a little late too, so I don't think they made through the cold weather. There's my bloody dock. Usually that makes it through the winter. It actually seems to enjoy the cold weather a little more. This is horseradish. It will die off for the winter, and the winter is actually the best time to harvest the roots. Here's my largest fig tree, which only produced a couple figs this year. So I think I'm gonna cut that way back so it doesn't shade my tree over there. Jerusalem artichokes are the dead long plants here. I need to dig those up too. Eat them. There's some more carrots. Everything looks so nice and green still. Here's some kale. This is Premier kale, which has nice flat leaves, which I sort of like. There's also some red Russian kale up here. A nice little row there. My blackberries still have some blooms on them. Must not know that the winter's coming. There's some catnip. Here's where my Malabar spinach was, red Malabar spinach. Need to throw all those down so they'll compost into the soil over the winter as well. persimmon tree. Didn't get any persimmons from this fall. Not sure if it got caught a late frost or what. But this is an Asian persimmon, non-astringent. Hopefully we'll get some persimmons off of it next year. Maybe this year it just put its energy into growing the fruit. It's only the second year I had it here in the ground. And then here's an apple tree at the top of the garden here too. That is a Caitlin apple tree. I guess that's from Stark. It's a Grand Gala apple dwarf Caitlin variety, I guess. There's some Swiss chard over there. It's looking like the cold weather got to that a little bit. But the Swiss chard will usually make it through the winter here. Oh, there's a beet that got planted a little earlier and did make it through the first cold spell we had here. All right, well, that's the top of my garden. So I will put a link to my garden tours for the year up in this corner. Over here, I'll put a link that YouTube says you will like. And I will see you again real soon. I might do a video on digging up that turmeric and ginger to see how that looks for the year. So thanks for watching. Have a blessed day. We'll see y'all again real soon. And I'll do like 20 seconds so that you can pick which video you're going to watch next. All right, here goes 20 seconds. Bye-bye. Have a blessed day.